So, this is a video on the royal fixed star Aldebaran. This is a star in the constellation of the Pleiades, which is called the bullseye. The reason why I make this video is because this star plays an important role in your natal horoscope. The fixed stars are often overlooked, but they play such an important role that they cannot be understated. My name is Georgios, and I'm a tropical astrologer, and I'll be making a series about the fixed stars. Now the first video will be about Aldebaran, which is the Archangel Michael Star. This star is about Archangel Michael, who is the commander of the heavenly host. In the ancient myth, he was considered to be a politician star, as I call it, because the star really helps you to understand how to get people on your side. So if you have a fixed star in your horoscope, please look for Aldebaran into 9 degrees of Gemini, because that is where the star is sitting in the horoscope, at 9 degrees right now. If you have something within a 3-degree orbit, that will be a conjunction. So considering that you are looking at this video, you may have a conjunction with this fixed star. And especially in conjunction with the luminaries, or the ascendant, or the angles like the midheaven, the IC, or the descendant, this star is extremely noticeable in your personality, in the way you are as a person, and it cannot be overlooked, because the star is really about your ability to talk to people, and people are just right away listening to you, because you are displaying what you are about, what your mission is, what your goals are, what you want to achieve in life, and other people are going to help you to achieve it. So if you have Aldebaran in a conjunction, so let's say you have it in a conjunction with the luminaries or ascendant or with any planet, it means that the ability to get people on your side and to get benefits through other people will be emphasized. So, because there's no coincidence in astrology, if you are born with a star, it means that you have to somehow get benefits only through the help of other people for this planet. So let's say you have Venus conjunction Aldebaran, that means if you want to get money, because Venus is money, then you need to be able to persuade people to get something of a reputation through your words, because it's Gemini, so it's about communication, and through those words, word about you is spread. That's how you get fame, that's how you get prestige. And there's also the quality of this fixed star that you get prestige very easily, but you also lose it very easily, because this star is considered to be an impulsive star. And that goes back to the nature of Archangel Michael, because Archangel Michael is a very warlike figure. He's the commander of the heavenly host, as they say, and the commander, he of course is the first to go into battle, as he commands vast armies. He gets the people on his side, the other angels, and everybody listens to him. And if he has the ears of the people, then if he says the wrong words, then immediately people are gonna question his authority, and they're gonna move away from him. Also, there's this theme considered to be that this is an archangel star, that there's a kind of group of people always behind the Aldebaran individual. Aldebaran people, they have a lot of friends, or they make a lot of contacts who are unusually willing to go into battle. So this is somebody who's very good as a recruiter. We often see these people working in the military. We see them working in a position where they have to get people into an organization, into working at a firm. We see it with politicians who need people on their side in campaigns and using the words in a certain way. We see it prominent in the charts of presidents, people who are in high authority positions, because for some reason they have a way with words, they have a certain personality that just makes them appear as if they know what they are doing. But because this is an impulsive star, these people may appear to know what they are doing even when they don't. And this is why Aldebaran individuals have to be very careful, because they tend to talk about things thinking they know about them or appearing to know about them, but they don't really. And this is where they attract a lot of haters. And if you look at the opposite of this star, you understand how the star actually works. Because the opposite of Archangel Michael is Archangel Uriel. And Archangel Uriel is the holder of the sacred flame. He is a representative of knowledge. Because the opposite star, which is in an exact opposite position in the horoscope, will be Antares. So if you look at 9 degrees Aldebaran in Gemini, also make sure you look at where Antares sits in your chart, in 9 degrees Sagittarius. And this gives you insight about your ability to deliver hidden information, hidden knowledge to other people. And if you're good with hidden knowledge, that means you are somebody who works in the background with Antares. I'm telling you this because it helps you to understand the dualism of these two stars. While one star is at the front, commanding people, talking to people, telling people what to do, the other star is completely in the background, delivering something in secret, has a very scorpionic quality. So think about everything that Scorpio is not, everything that is the opposite of Scorpio, everything that's very aloof, very much in your face, which is why Aldebaran is called the bull's eye, because it's in the constellation in the stars of Taurus, but from a tropical zodiac position you will look for it in the 9 degrees of Gemini. So these are people who are constantly showing you just how valuable they are, and they do it through their words. And this is where Aldebaran individuals clash a lot of the time with Antares individuals who are revealing something that exposes somehow the Aldebaran individual. Because the Aldebaran individual is very good at showing himself in the best side, showing his worth in a way which is very, very charming, very, very persuasive. And there we see often Antares clashing with Aldebaran, trying to overthrow the king or the politician who has gone to his position, whether he deserves it or not, simply because the Antares is here to keep him on his toes, to make sure that Aldebaran keeps it real. Because Archangel Michael, Aldebaran star, has the tendency to be a little bit too divine, a little bit too holy in his appearance, a little bit too perfect, like it's too good to be true. Here he is, your savior, ready to go into combat in your name. He represents you, he's fighting for the people, and he's God's favorite, isn't he? God loves Archangel Michael, and that is why he gives him the authority of command over all of his legions. So of course the people trust him, but this is where we see a lot of arrogance in Archangel Michael, Aldebaran individuals. And Antares is about humbling him down from the shadows, showing him where his faults are, his weaknesses and his vulnerabilities, While Aldebaran is struggling with integrity issues. So why am I telling you this? Is to understand that if you want to actualize the star, if you want to get the money which is associated with the bull, if you want to get the prestige, the charm, and the position that is considered to be royal, in command of other people, then you'll have to look out for the shadow side of the star, which is to deny anything that is negative, any of his weaknesses. Because eventually these weaknesses show, and people are noticing it simply because people feel drawn to the Aldebaran individual, and they want to know what this person is about, because they really want to support you. There's a certain love associated with a star, and if you want to feel secure and confident in your position, if you want to keep your position, in other words, you have to beware the Antares inside your mind, inside your circles, around you and the people, because there will always be some Antares individual that you're dealing with. If you have Aldebaran prominent in the chart, in the horoscope in 9 degrees, you will meet Antares people. And they will show you karmic lessons to elevate the expression of his fated star. And Antares is somebody who works in the shadows, who has somewhat of a darker nature, more feral, more demonic, as people would say, simply because this is the part of human nature that we don't want to see. Antares shows us that which is in the darkness, while Aldebaran shows us that which is in the light. It is a bit like the duel of fates. It's almost like Jedi versus Sith, but they're really two sides of the same coin. And while the Antares individual is usually quite hated, the Antares worth is no different from the Aldebaran one. It's simply that they have different functions, or they fill different niches in the society. And while we need a politician on one hand, we also need a trickster on the other. So somebody who keeps the king on his toes, right? Somebody who informs the king of, do you know what the people are doing? Do you know about the gossip behind your back? Are you aware of the backstabbings? Because Archangel Michael Aldebaran has a certain flamboyant nature. It tends to go into battle a little bit too eagerly, not really watching for the betrayal that is about to happen around him. So also watch out for, if you have Aldebaran prominent in your chart, it means you could be dealing with people who, because you're making so many friends so easily, you also make friends with people who aren't really your friends. Where again, you may meet Antares in a lower or also a higher expression. Either way, it's gonna keep you on your toes. So it's good to be watching out for that and to know that. And if you have a sun, moon, or ascendant with this conjunction Aldebaran, then you'll probably be working in a place of authority, a lead position. You're a group representative. You're somebody who's a seller of goods. You're very flexible, but you have a duplicitous nature because you don't really show your darkness to the outside. It's not very authentic, this star. It struggles with really being yourself. And often the star is compensated by a need to be a little bit extravagant, by putting on a little bit too much flair, a little bit too much of a a nature that is like you are selling yourself. It's like you as a person, your whole being is being represented. You become some kind of an icon for the people. And this is usually where we see a lot of anxiety with Aldebaran individuals, because they feel like they have to be a prominent person, like they have to be known, they have to be famous somehow. And this is why Antares, I think, helps to balance that out, to develop the courage and confidence to be able to deal with the backlash and the hatred that usually is the result when you lose some of that reputation which you're trying so hard to maintain. So these are usually people who are a little bit too concerned about how they look. They are very focused on appearances, and they become experts in appearances. They know exactly how to behave, how to move, how to speak, how to regulate the tone of voice, how to mimic certain individuals. You may even be drawn to some kind of politicians, some kind of people who are public speakers. You may study the way of communication, the way of persuasion and charm, and how to simply be a leader and a representative of a group, as somebody who also makes some kind of advertisement for a firm, or who is a recruiter. So if you're working at a charity and you are somebody who is in charge of making sure that the charity remains a charity, that they get the money that they need. And of course, for the charity to get the money they need, you need to sell to the people that your charity is the right charity, that they should be paying to you, that they should be grateful for even having the opportunity to be paying to you. So you're very, very good in achieving that. And you kind of have to, because this is where your wealth is generated. So that is why it is associated with a bull, because usually there's a lot of money that Aldebaran people own. And if they don't, they feel like there's some kind of failure. And there is often the chance that there is a certain time in your life where Aldebaran gets activated. So look at your transits to try to predict at which time there's a good chance for Aldebaran to have a more prominent role in your life, because if you are born with that star, it doesn't mean that you're going to be born as a politician, but you're going to develop it at some point, and you're going to benefit from executing it. But even if you try to be a leader of a group very early in your life, it doesn't mean it's going to work out, because there's going to be a time for when it's going to work, and it may be difficult to try to control that. But of course, if you don't know what to do, then look if you can somehow do something more of an investigative work, some kind of psychology work, to balance out the superficial nature of the star, because it's so focused on the group mind, on the reputation, on what people are exchanging, on words and how things are being said. It kind of has a tendency to lose touch with that which is supposed to be in the background. But even sometimes people with a star, they can be people who work in the background, because then you have to consider all the other placements in your chart, and it could also be that because you're so afraid of fucking it up, you may hide, and it is only later in life that you actually embody this representation. Okay, so that's basically it. I mean, if you have the star, let's say you have it on the midhaven on an angle, then you're probably going to have a very, very easy time getting people to trust you. Like somehow people trust you extremely easily. It's like people think, oh, this person has been chosen to to deliver me the goods that I need, that I'm looking for, even if you're not really looking for it, because we're so good at selling, there's nothing that we can't sell. So I hope this about Aldebaran helped you to understand this a little bit better. And if you like this video, please leave a like and comment. It helps to boost my algorithm. Thanks for watching.